Hey you guys, so I am coming to you guys to explain. Well, if some of you follow me on Facebook, which I'm not 100% sure, I don't really check for like people follow me. I'm not like, oh, I got 5 followers. No, I don't really like. If you follow me, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool. It is what it is. But basically, if you've been on my Facebook page, you would have seen that like a few weeks ago. I think it was within 3 weeks ago, I want to say, I went to the emergency room. And well, let me start off from what it stemmed from. One day, and this was like 2 to 3 months ago, I was at home. I was just laying down, just like listening to music, doing stuff on my phone, and like out of nowhere, you know how when you get that spot on your face, like when, like, say if you're gonna get a pimple here, and like out of nowhere you feel that pinch, and then you go look in the mirror and it's like a red spot, and you didn't notice it earlier in the day. So it's like, yeah, that's what I felt, but I felt it on my right armpit, right there, and it freaked. Like, I wasn't freaked out at first, but I was like, yeah, whatever. So like within hours, I'm saying like 3 hours, it started to hurt and it started to get bigger. So by morning, I had to be up for work. Excuse me. And like it hurt. Like to put my arm up like this, it hurt. Like I would be like, ow, like yeah. And so yeah, it that's how it was when it first happened. And this was like the first time it ever happened to me. And I was like kind of freaking out because I had never had that happen to me before, and I hate when things are stopping me from going to work comfortably. Like I would go like at this time I only worked at my AMC theater job, so I would go to work. Like for the first time I got it, I went to work and I was in concession, of course, and like to pick up those big, huge, big gulp size cups like all day. Like it's like basically I was screaming like you know how when you kind of scream but silently so that no one around you can hear you. That's what I was doing all day, and it hurt it so badly. But like I told my mom about it, and that's basically it at that time. And I was just kind of scared because I had never had that happen to me before. So basically, and here's the catch: it would only happen, like it would hurt for the first 2 3 days, and it hurt like hell. And basically, like when I would go to sleep, I couldn't put my arm down comfortably because it hurt really badly. And then like putting my arm up, it hurt really badly. So it was like either way, it's gonna hurt like hell. So basically, then like it only lasts for a week. Like the lump would still be there for like 3 days after the pain went away, and then it would stop. Like the pain would stop after a week. And so it left this lump still like in that same spot. The lump would get smaller, but it would still be there. So it's like, okay, what is this? So 2 weeks later, it came on my other armpit, and I was like, what is happening here? And I was like, I don't know. So me being me, I just like basically it just like it happened for a total of 4 times. 2 times on my right side and then 2 times on my left side. And basically, me being me, after a while, I was like, you know what, let me Google this and look at what this might be. And if you've ever had something wrong with you and you went to Google it, I advise you don't do it because Google can scare you, like to having a spot in the corner of your nose as something so serious as, oh, you're gonna die. No, don't, like I suggest don't look at, like, don't go to Google, because this is what happened to me. I saw like two different sides to what it could be. The first one, I saw other people having like the same symptoms, and they were like, oh, it would like pop up for a week and then it hurt and then it would go away, and then it formed on my other arm 2 weeks later. They had the same exact symptoms, and then that's what made me calm down. But then the ugly side to it, like they were like, oh, this is basically like finding a lump on your breast. It's like it can be a sign of cancer. And I looked at this when I was at work at my second job that I have now. And when I say I flipped out silently, like I just started bawling, like tears rolling down my face at my cubicle. I was so upset. Like I was just like, I'm only 21. I ain't even started living yet, and I'm about to, like, I might have cancer, and it irritated me. And I was like, after a while, I was like, you know what? No, suck it up. We're just gonna go to the emergency room after work, and that's what we did. My mom took me to the emergency room after I got off work, and basically they check you in and they ask if you have insurance and blah blah blah, and they get your information. They put those bands on your arms, and you go and see like the nurse on the side or doctor, whatever, and he's like, what's the scale of the pain, 1 to 10? Then he takes your temperature, he takes your blood pressure and things like that, and gets like symptoms, like ask you what's wrong, and then sends you to the waiting room. And basically like an hour and a half later they bring you back to the separate room. And then like basically this woman came and she checked, she was like, okay. And they basically, when you're in the hospital, they ask, like, everyone that sees you asks you what's wrong. And I'm like, you can clearly look in the paper where he just wrote everything, you don't gotta ask me 5 times, but whatever. I basically said the same thing to her, and she put her hand on my armpit, and she's like, I don't feel anything. I was like, it's right there. And she's like, oh, I feel it there. Okay, so basically that's then some other, like, a guy came into the room. He was like, okay, here's the thing, you have hydradenitis. And I was like, what's that? And he's like, oh, basically it's like a disease that's like you get from genetics. Basically it's just very uncomfortable, and that's basically it. It's nothing drastic that you can die from. It's just very uncomfortable from shaving. You get like ingrown hairs, or it's just like from using old razors, or using like not using soap or something. Of course the dog would bark during my video. But yeah, like stuff like that. And basically you have to be very careful. Like basically he was like, okay, use hypoallergenic soap. Well, use, yeah, hypoallergenic soap when you going to shave your armpits and your pelvic area, because it can happen in your pelvic area. And he was like, use a new razor every time you go to shave your pelvic area and or your underarms. And I was like, oh. And he's like, you should switch over to a hypoallergenic soap as well, because you have very sensitive skin. And I'm like, oh, okay. So excuse me, basically like I went, he was like, use a hypoallergenic deodorant for sensitive skin. And so like right after I left the hospital, we went to see a movie though, but like, whatever, to make me laugh, 'cause I was so down at that point. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, after the movie we went to Walmart. I got new deodorant, Dove. It's like a soothing chamomile, the extra strength for sensitive skin. I got the knockoff brand of the Dove sensitive skin soap. I didn't get the actual Dove because I don't want to buy something and then like find out it doesn't work with me. Like I don't like it, it's not working for me, and then I spent like $5-6 for that bottle of soap. So I bought the Equate version first, and then I love the soap. It's like knocks the dryness out of my skin, and then it's very good for when I'm shaving. Like it lathers really good, and it softens the hell out of the hair under my armpit and like my pelvic area when I'm shaving, so it's like really easy. And I stocked up like 3 bags of razors just to be sure. And what else did I get? I think that was everything, but basically here's the thing, I haven't had a flare up since, because whenever I shave I use the soap, and whenever I'm in the shower I still have a full bottle of my old soap. But basically I just use that on my body. Then on my armpits and my special area down there I use the Equate soap, the moisturizing sensitive soap. So yeah, basically I haven't had any flare-ups. I've been doing my research and being very careful. But yeah, you guys, just if you have anything like that, go to the doctor first so that they can tell you. Don't Google it, because you will think you have cancer. So yeah, just go to the hospital or go to your doctor and figure out what's wrong with you, and you'll be good. They can tell you and they can help you. Okay, bye you guys. I'll come to you guys later.